Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where we pay tribute to a WrestleMania celebrity and one of the best game show hosts and people of all time. What is Alex Trebek? It's Lost in the Midcard. We are here a few days post Full Gear. We will break down what was a tremendous pay-per-view by AEW this past Saturday. Look ahead to Dynamite. That is going to air today as you listen to the podcast, tomorrow for us as we're recording on a Tuesday. And, of course, we'll talk a little Raw and SmackDown. We got a short turnaround time, so there's obviously no Dynamite or NXT to talk about. We already took care of that on Friday's show. So we're going to get right into it. Thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes, Spotify, and any of your favorite podcasting apps. What you got to do is search for Lost in the Midcard. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way, typically every Wednesday. But just in case it's a different day like last week, make sure you subscribe. And also on the YouTube, we're there. And make sure you subscribe on our YouTube and hit the bell icon. And the links to that are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard. And also on the Twitter at LITMC Podcast, where we also share a lot of the great tweets from the wrestling world. I'm your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at JB Huskers. As always, my co-host. He is on the Twitter at Raw F Showtime. It is Mr. Matt Black. Matt, how you doing?
Full gear, baby.
Full fucking gear. I watched
AEW has given me quite a few days of happiness, I'll tell you that much.
Including today, which we'll get into later. I watched it with friends. So you know how that is. People talk all the time.
Yeah.
And you can't focus, especially when you're so used to watching them by yourself 99% of the time. So I almost want to go back and watch it. Full Gear.
I think you should, because I think top to bottom, it was AEW's best pay-per-view they've ever done.
Ever. Okay.
Ever.
I mean, I watched it. Obviously, I paid attention pretty good, but it's something I want to rewatch down the line, for sure. So let's get right into it. Full Gear took place from Daly's Place, Jacksonville, Florida. One kickoff, one buy-in match with for the NWA Women's Championship. Kind of funny. One woman that just left in NWA, Allison Kay. Probably someone AEW needs to sign with a struggling women's division, which Tony Khan even admitted struggling, maybe could do better types of things. Having the NWA title, though, defended on AEW has helped that out a lot with now new champion Serena Deeb. She took on Allison Kay in the buy-in, and I gotta say, Matt, for buy-in, this is a pretty solid match for these two.
Yeah, match was fine. No complaints. You know, I'm personally not a big Allison Kay fan.
We know.
So I still thought the match was fine. Deeb looked great. Rosa coming out afterwards declaring, the fact that she wants her rematch, which you would assume will happen on a future episode of Dynamite. Sounds pretty damn good to me. No complaints.
Yeah. After the match, Thunder Rosa comes out. I don't think that still doesn't answer if she's going to stay in AEW or go to WWE, but
it's already been confirmed from Billy and her that her contract with NWA runs through the end of 2021.
Oh, it's not. I didn't hear that.
She's not going anywhere.
Well, good for Billy. Eventually, Power is going to start taping again. So we kick things off. Probably the best choice to kick things off. The finals of the Eliminator tournament for the world to determine the number one contender for the AEW World Championship. Hangman Adam Page, Kenny Omega. No surprise, Matt. They put on a fucking classic. Perfect match to kick off the show, wasn't it?
Dude, it was bad. Look, like a lot of wrestlers say, if you can't be last, you want to be first.
Yep.
And they couldn't have picked a better match to start off that show. Set the pace, set the momentum on the right foot. Just, oh lordy, it was hashtag good shit, pal.
I completely love the end when, while on Omega's shoulders, Hangman was struggling to get out of the one-winged angel. I watched this with friends, and they were convinced that someone was going to kick out of the one-winged angel for the very first time, and I'm like,
I think Paige will be the first person to kick out of the one-winged angel.
When he wins,
and I think that'll be the night he beats Omega for the AEW Championship. But we're getting way ahead of ourselves to the 2021. But I do believe that Adam Page will be the first man to kick out of that move, and he will go on to win the championship afterward.
Yeah.
Maybe they do. Maybe they wait all the way to All Out to do that. Like, I'm not sure, but
I mean, they do.
I feel like at some point next year, Hangman's going to take that title from Kenny.
They do a good job of long-term booking. I mean, just look at Kenny's pinned tweet for the last year.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I don't have to put Matt over on this, or get him. What's the word I'm looking? I don't have to convince him this, but we all know John Silver is a good talent. We all know Orange Cassidy is a good talent. But let me tell you something, brother. Orange Cassidy and John Silver on paper, it's like, okay, this is random, but for 10-minute match at a pay-per-view, these guys, for one, I think I saw this on Twitter, but I think a lot of people were impressed by John Silver in this one. As much as we put him over, I think he looked pretty good against Orange Cassidy, didn't he?
I thought this match was way better than anybody could have expected. I thought it was really good.
It's just a shame that Silver couldn't win the BTE championship. I mean, he fucking choked for the BTE championship. We'll talk about BTE in a little bit. Darby Allin, Cody Rhodes for the TNT title. Darby coming in on a spray painted car. I thought he was going to skateboard off the car. That would have been badass, but instead he decided to bust the windshield with his skateboard instead. So Cody and Darby, a very, very good 17-minute match for the title. We saw some glimpses of heel turns. Arn was doing some shady shit. We expected Darby to win the TNT championship. We both predicted it, and it was correct. But no heel turn from Cody yet, Matt. Maybe we're not getting one.
No, yeah. I think it's a slow build. I think we're still getting it. So
I'm like, is he really going to join Team Taz? Because at the end of the match, almost immediately after Darby pinned Cody, Ricky Starks and Brian Cage came out. I'm like, is Cody really joining Team Taz? No, he didn't. No, he tried to fight him off. That didn't work. And then they were going to try to break Darby's arm in the car door, but Will Hobbs made the save. Dustin Rhodes, QT Marshall, cutting a promo. They are facing Butcher and the Blade in the old classic bunkhouse match. If you don't know what a bunkhouse match is, go watch a Texas bunkhouse match on YouTube. There's some classic ones on there. AEW Women's Championship, Hikaru Shida against Nyla Rose, and I thought this was a pretty good match. Not as good as their first match, Matt, but I thought it was solid.
It was fine. I didn't have any issues with it. I thought it was a good match.
It was
But
very
I thought the right person won because I still feel like the end game's Britt Baker winning that championship. So
I'm very surprised that Nyla just took that slap from Vicky Guerrero.
that was a little weird. Maybe they might be teasing and they might be turning her face down the line. So
Or she just takes it from her, you know. But yeah, after the match, Vicky Guerrero berating Nyla Rose, even slapping her, and we're like, oh, rest in peace, Vicky. But nope. She just kept her head down, shook her head, and went along following Vicky Guerrero to the back. So tag team championship time. A dream match, 5 years, 6 years in the making. Young Bucks and FTR. How about that ring gear, man? Both teams bringing that ring gear, aren't they?
yeah, the Lakers Celtics kind of feel.
Exactly. This was an excellent match, as we expected. I don't know. Let me get your opinion on this. I still think the match with Kenny and Hangman was better.
I don't know. I love them both.
Yeah.
I don't even want to try to pick one right now. And I would have to go back and literally watch them both back to back to try to make up my mind. I thought they were both freaking awesome. So
A lot of work in the injury angle, obviously. A fair amount of paying homage to some certain tag teams, not just of the past, but of the very recent present. When FTR did the DIY move, which I popped for, Matt.
no, they did a lot. They did a lot of other people's moves.
3D twist of fate into a swanton. It was pretty cool.
The Steiner brothers.
Heart attack.
Yeah, I mean they were breaking out as many as possible.
I thought it was cool that they included DIY in that, though, Matt.
Yeah, I don't look. It was the feud that put the Revival on the map.
Yep.
So
this is true. FTR's motto is no flips, just fists. Unfortunately, Cash strayed away from that. Attempted a 450 splash and missed. And Matt hit a super kick, covered. Cash Wheeler at the 28.5-minute mark in a true tag team classic. Young Bucks, your new AEW tag team champions. Didn't think they'd switch it this fast, but then they put that stipulation out there, and then I knew it was going to change. But the backup plan was pretty funny. We'll get to that at BTE. After the match, Kenny Omega joins in on the celebration with the Bucks. You can see Hangman at the entrance ramp holding a drink, or at the entrance tunnel holding a drink, but he did not join in the celebration. So more of Hangman further becoming a loner. I'm really curious where this is going to go to, Matt. And this has been some pretty great, in my opinion, character development and storytelling with Hangman. The whole fitting in with the elite. He was one of the elite easily, you know, and it's completely devolved in a year and a half's time. I'm really curious to see where they kind of keep going with it, Matt.
it's all about slow term build, man.
Think he's going heel?
I don't know, man. Like, on the same token, I could ask you, think Dark Order's going face?
I do think they will.
So I mean, who knows?
And where's Brody? Where's Brody been lately?
The rumor is, from my understanding, he's out injured. So, I mean, we'll find out in due time.
Next is the Elite Deletion match between Broken Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara. This was a cinematic match somewhat. It wasn't as heavy of a cinematic match as some of the other Hardy compound matches have been. I think there was a lot of pure wrestling in this, and obviously a lot of toys, a lot of Roman candles, a lot of cameos. It didn't take long for Santana and Ortiz to get involved, and that's when Matt made the call because he was on the phone before the match started, and he was on the phone with somebody to stand by, and those people that were standing by were private parties, so they came in and helped Matt even up the odds. And we got cameos from Gangrel and Hurricane Helms, which was great. Then eventually, all the extra people that were involved were shut out, and it was just Sammy and Matt locked in the dome of deletion. And they not really recreated, but Matt kind of got his revenge on Sammy. And kayfabe busted his head open, which some people were adding Rebby Hardy about, saying they shouldn't have done that.
Morons.
And yeah, don't
act like it was freaking real.
Don't at Rebby first off, with that shit.
Not if you're gonna be an idiot.
Yeah. Oh, the people laid into that fucker. That was so good to watch. That was so funny to watch. Sammy attempted a swanton off a ladder through a table. He hit it, but only got a 2 count. That's where we got the spot where Matt speared Sammy through a table, busted Sammy open in the back of the head. Matt grabbed a chair, did the one-man concerto, and that was it. 1, 2, 3. Matt Hardy wins after about 20 minutes on the Elite Deletion match. Matt, what were your thoughts on this House Hardy match?
I thought it was fun. I'm sure Private Party was super excited to be there to do something like that, since they pretty much idolized the Hardy Boys growing up.
Yeah.
I think it was hilarious that they decided to wrap up a storyline from the House Hardy Halloween special that WWE never followed up on, revealing that it was Gangrel at the end that kidnapped Hurricane.
Poor Hurricane was stuck there for 2 years.
Yeah. So I mean, it was fun. And look, I'm just happy that Matt and Sammy got through a match.
Right.
And that actually nobody got hurt. Like, I mean, they made it look like people got hurt, but like the fact that, they both got through a match, that nobody got hurt, the feud can finally be done, and both of these guys can move on to other things within AEW. It's good for all involved.
Next up is Chris Jericho and MJF. If MJF wins, he joins the Inner Circle. And these two, it was an okay match, Matt. It was I would say honestly, it wasn't one of Jericho's best matches or MJF's best matches. And maybe they just don't mesh well together. I don't know.
That's the first time they've ever worked together too.
Yeah.
And it's not like AEW's got a bunch of house shows where people can, get familiar with one another before getting in the ring for the first time. So, I mean, these things just happen. Unfortunately, yeah. I didn't think the match was bad, but I mean, it wasn't great.
Yeah.
It was fine. Like there was nothing bad. Not one match on the show was bad.
Yeah.
From the buy-in all the way to the main event, there was not one bad match on this show. It's good shit. So like if one match doesn't quite live up to expectations, I mean, it's okay.
Wardlow handed MJF the ring that distracted the ref. Hager tosses Jericho the bat. MJF acts like he got hit by the bat, doing a little Eddie move there. Referee didn't disqualify Jericho, but distracted him enough for MJF to get the roll up. And yes, sir, MJF is now a part of the inner circle. And Jericho gives MJF a hug. Got one over on him. And props to Jericho, who, happy birthday, just turned 50. 50-year-old guy doing a Frankensteiner is pretty fucking impressive, isn't it?
Hey, you still got it, man.
This Wednesday on Dynamite, the induction ceremony for MJF. And as Matt predicted on the show last week, lots of interesting things could happen with MJF winning the match. And it'll be fun to see where it goes from here. They preview Dynamite for this week. As I mentioned, Butcher Blade taking on Natural Nightmares in the bunkhouse match. Match number 2 between Penta El Zero Miedo and Rey Fenix. And then Tay Conchi taking on Red Velvet. Main event time next. AEW Championship I Quit match between Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. And no surprise, Matt, these guys beat the dog shit out of each other.
I don't think this is something that anybody should be shocked by.
I really thought their use of weapons was really well done, really unique. The finish was pretty unique. You know, Moxley's
that's pretty brutal.
Moxley's new move, new finishing move, the bully choke, and having your arm wrapped in barbed wire while you're performing said bully choke. You know, you couldn't hear very well Kingston saying "I quit." Well, because when you're getting choked like that with barbed wire cutting in your throat, it's going to be hard to say something. So I thought that was really well done what those guys did at the end. I thought it was a tremendous main event between these two. It was completely clean, as in no interference. Just two longtime buddies beating the dog shit out of each other, and we all win in that world. I love the main event, Matt. What were your thoughts on it?
I thought the two guys told a great story, and I thought the finish was exactly what it needed to be. A finality of the finish with one of them actually saying that they quit. And I didn't foresee Eddie Kingston versus Kenny Omega to be something that AEW would have been planning on. So it made sense for Mox to retain.
What was even more fun during the match was watching Renee Young tweeting.
Oh, she was not a fan of that match, sir. She was not a fan of that match.
One of her tweets was, "Can I say I quit?"
It's such good shit.
After the match, Moxley helps Kingston up, but Kingston was not having any of it. Moxley got in the camera and talked about blood and guts. Direct shot at Vince McMahon, who said that's criticized AEW for all the blood and guts. So, then Kenny Omega comes out, just a little stare down, nothing too crazy, just the two staring each other down. I would assume they're going to wait till Revolution for this, Matt.
You would think.
Even
I
though God
said that they have several Dynamite specials planned between now and Revolution, which is the end of February, but
they've always slid other matches in there, though. Like when you have a number one contender, but then you have these other specialty shows. They've slid in other number one contenders in there as well.
Yeah, but they've never really done. I'm trying to think if they have done. I can't recall them ever doing a title match on Dynamite when we already knew what the title match was going to be on the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Like we've had the challengers for the AEW title competing prior to Dynamite and saying, well, if I lose, I'm not competing for the title. I mean, they've done stuff like that, but I can't recall if they've actually said, okay, this is our title match at this pay-per-view, but 3 weeks prior, or whatever, how many weeks we're going to have a title match beforehand. I mean, I guess they could do that, and they can just say like the winner will face Kenny Omega at Revolution, but yeah, I'm not sure how they're gonna do it, man. Like, this is their longest space between pay-per-views throughout their calendar year, because you've got the end of February for Revolution, and then Double or Nothing is in May. So, I mean, there's only 2 months between there. And then you have All Out at the end of August, beginning of September. So you just have June and July going into that. And then in September, and the September-August date, because it fluctuates because of the Labor Day weekend. And then you've got Full Gear in November, which is another 2-month period. This is the only one with that it's a wide gap, because it's almost all of November, then you have December, then you have January, and then you have almost all of February until the end of the month. So, I mean, this is almost double their space between every other pay-per-view throughout the calendar year. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do between now and Revolution. But if I had to say what to do, I would hold off that match until Revolution.
Got to.
Yeah, but I mean,
well, when you look at
what the fuck do I know?
When you look at
I'm not booking. So
when you look at the AEW rankings as of November 4th, of course they come out on Wednesdays. You know, Kenny Omega is nowhere to be seen in the top 5, so you could easily have some sort of title match with either Brian Cage, MJF is in at number 2, Lance Archer number 3, Darby Allin number 4, and Shawn Spears at number 5. So they've already done Archer, but they could probably do any of the other 3 guys, not Darby being the TNT champion. You could even, you can't throw Cody in there yet until he gets, he's Cody Rhodes now, so maybe Cody and Moxley would be a pay-per-view match. So you're not going to do that there. Cage and Moxley have already fought too. So, you know, you could throw a Shawn Spears at him, or, maybe even Scorpio Sky if he beats Spears. I think that match is supposed to take place tomorrow. It was postponed due to.
I do believe that is scheduled for tomorrow. Yes.
That was Scorpio came into contact with someone with COVID, so that got postponed. So you could use the rankings to your advantage and have yourself a title match somewhere in there between now and the end of February, which seems like a long fucking time away. But excellent pay-per-view by AEW. Matt calling it one of the best of AEW's short career.
I definitely thought it was. I just top to bottom, I thought it was a phenomenal show. So
BTE this week, we kick off with the Bucks on the stage at Daly's place, checking out the Full Gear set, and Nick calling his brother dumb for putting the
this was amazing.
Putting the stipulation out there.
Nick was every wrestling fan on the planet.
Yeah.
To Matt, essentially, and that's what I loved about it.
I love how he slid that in there too. He just talking, and then like, and you're so dumb for he just like slid it in there so coy. And Matt says, I got a plan, and he shows off the TNT Tag Team Championship belts.
Oh, so glad they never did.
That was kind of funny.
It was funny in hindsight that they won, but had they lost, it would not have been funny.
The Bucks go to Walmart again, and well,
Dude, they're almost impossible to find on store shelves right now.
Yeah, they still can't find their own toys. Silver and Reynolds.
AEW's got all that good merch coming right now, baby. Action figures, video games, mobile games,
trading cards,
rumored to be Upper Deck doing the AEW cards. That's the rumor. Not sure it's factual, but that's the rumor. It's really cool to see them getting all these licensing deals.
Yeah.
I couldn't be happier for this company, man. Like I literally could not. I'm so fucking thrilled.
Silver and Reynolds tried to recruit Nakazawa into the Dark Order. Instead, they got to smell his underwear.
Why would you waste your time? He couldn't even beat Brandon Cutler.
True.
Brandon Cutler got his second win in AEW by beating Michael Nakazawa.
Oh, did he?
Yes, on Dark Friday night. The Dark that aired before Full Gear.
Watch out. He's going to get a TNT title shot here soon.
The streak, baby.
Matt Jackson signing some autographs on stuff, and at first he thought he shouldn't tell, but then he divulged for a trading card, but they can't divulge anymore. And then we got to see Doctor make fun of his signature.
Poor Chris.
Oh, Doctor. Little AEW Games teaser after that. We'll talk about that a little later.
Can't wait to talk about that, JB. I'm very excited if you can't tell.
Brandon Cutler runs into Doctor
this fucking guy.
Runs into Doctor backstage. Hey, I want to get some pictures of you with the belt. Oh, the AEW title? No, not that belt. Oh, the tag titles. No. Oh, the TNT championship. No, just a belt. Your pants are too loose, Brandon.
It was the FTW championship.
Oh, that's right. It was the FTW. Yeah, I didn't.
Like, do you want Brian Cage to kill you? And he's like, no, I don't want that.
I think it was you want Brian Cage to rip off your arm.
Something along those lines. One way or another, it's resulting in a murder.
Yeah.
Because if you get your arm ripped off, I'm pretty sure you're dead.
Bucks showing their injuries after the FTR match, and
I know we didn't talk about it, but we didn't touch on it earlier. I loved the finish of that match. I fucking loved the no flips, just fist guys.
Oh, we talked about it. I talked about
it. For a flip and it cost them.
I talked about it.
Well, I didn't talk about it.
Well, talk about it then.
I'm talking about it.
All right, talk about it.
I love the finish. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to beat a dead horse. But I loved the finish of that match. I thought the storytelling was great.
It was.
And like I said, you want me to pick between that and the match from Revolution? It's so hard because those might be two of the greatest tag team matches I've ever seen. Period. And they were both in the same calendar year from the same company.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, NXT has had some amazing tag team wrestling years ago. They haven't had any lately. But years ago, they had some really great tag team wrestling. And, but I feel like I've seen two of the best tag team matches of my entire life in 2020.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't want to try to have to pick between them. But at the same token, I will say this. The common factor in both matches were the Young Bucks. Yes. So people can say whatever they fucking want about the Young Bucks and how they can't sell and they can't tell stories and all this stupid ass bullshit, but they are legitimately one of the best tag teams on the fucking planet today.
WWE marks, because I saw some WWE marks going, what are these guys doing putting out a video game already? They're getting ahead of themselves.
Oh, dude, the WWE fanboys were out in full tilt tonight, trying to rain on the parade of AEW games. Y'all should be fucking ashamed of yourselves. Like, don't you have anything else fucking better to do with your life? Go play WWE Battlegrounds and shut the fuck up.
Let's make fun of pre-alpha graphics while we're at it, you dumbasses.
It didn't look that bad to me. Like what I wrote in my Sportskeeda article tonight, it reminded me of if you took the very realistic WWE 2K games, and then you took the art from WWE All Stars, and you met in the middle, because the graphics did look realistic. They just looked slightly larger than life. And the wrestling looked realistic. It didn't look like over the top All Stars Battleground gameplay or anything. It just, the wrestlers looked a little larger than life, which is what you expected from the Aki games. Like, they didn't look like the No Mercy and stuff. They didn't look super realistic. But it was fun.
We'll dig into
fun. I can't wait to talk about it later. I know we keep talking about it. We're gonna talk about it soon. I've got so much to say.
Seriously, back to that stupid criticism. Like, oh, look, it's a Kenny Omega balloon because they look like an inflatable balloon. I'm like, yeah, shut up. All right.
I thought Omega looked great. I thought all three of the characters. We'll talk about it later. I know we keep jumping into it. But I thought all three of the character models that were revealed in that trailer looked really good.
It's hard to pick a favorite spot of BTE this week because it was so good, but I think my favorite spot was the next one when Brandon Cutler was looking for the pay window.
I'll tell you my favorite spot when we get to it.
And Kazarian goes, "It's to the right. Go fuck yourself." And then someone brought up to him that he needs anger management.
Twice.
Yeah. This was the first time. I fucking loved Kaz. Go to the right. Go fuck yourself.
I guess that's going to be his new running gimmick on being the Elite, is the angry old man that needs to go to anger management.
Peter,
dude, if they run some anger management skits on BTE, that's going to be fucking gold.
Peter Avalon was the first guy to tell Frankie that he needed to calm down. It's time for the finals of the inaugural BTE Championship.
Do you feel Matt Jackson through this?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't just me. I feel like he didn't want the heat, and he purposely threw the fucking finals.
And fucking
because
Silver,
he had it in the bag. All Silver choked. Man.
Silver is supposed to win, and he choked.
Oh, he choked so bad.
So your first ever BTE champion is Trent, who didn't want the belt anyways. That was quite the elaborate setup.
Best friends.
That was quite the elaborate setup that went through like 3 or 4 hotel rooms.
Yeah, that was insane.
I loved Trent saying, "Do a slow-mo thing and play my music." So your first ever BTE champion, Trent. Don't call me Beretta.
Oh, I'll call him Beretta if I want
to. Some sweet behind the scenes shit. Darby getting his paint on.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
We get Cutler and Kazarian again, and Cutler decided to go steampunk for Full Gear, and Kaz didn't like it.
Oh, Kaz.
Kaz and Brandon were my favorite part of this show, man. And then Justin Roberts says, "Frankie, you need some anger management." Well, that's the wrong thing to say to Frankie. I don't think I've played Do Ya. I played Do Ya a lot, but I don't think I've played it as much as I have.
This might be a record tonight for you and the Do Yas.
Miro and Kip playing PlayStation 4 with the controllers off. Kayfabe. And then Leva schooling Kip because they didn't think Leva could game. Do they not know she has a Twitch channel? Does Kip not
Do they not know they've played games with her before on Twitch?
Hey, kayfabe.
Oh, boy. I think that was Miro's being the Elite debut, wasn't it?
Was it?
I think it was. He's been on a bunch of the of Sammy's vlog.
I need to start catching up.
episodes.
I need to start catching up on those.
But I'm pretty sure this was his first time on BTE.
So Jurassic Express decided to take a naked ice bath and then get out of it. Well, they weren't naked. You can see Jungle Boy was wearing shorts, but kayfabe, they were naked. And Anna Jay walked in, and I don't know where they were going with Marco's stunt, but
he's so weird on both on Sammy's and vlog and BTE. Marco's son is so fucking weird.
I don't know if Marco still had a hog after the ice bath or what exactly, but anyways, Anna Jay was disgusted and ran off. The Bucks showing off their ring gear, and that leads to Cutler Cam from Full Gear as they show the FTR match. Kenny Omega has championship hats and t-shirts for them. Before we get to that, though, a little Shaq in the hallway.
Yeah, friggin' Shaq. Backstage at fucking Full Gear, man.
Underdog.
Once again, reigniting those rumors that he wanted to wrestle Cody in AEW.
Underdog, put that on a t-shirt.
Oh, man. Shaq versus Cody. Can you see it?
NBA season's over now. I fully expect Shaq to be on Dynamite sometime before the new
NBA season seems to be starting back up relatively soon.
Well, we got a month. We got a month and a half. So
yeah.
Kenny Omega with championship hats and shirts. I don't know what to think about that, but
I love the hats.
I love the baseball celebration tarping off the
oh
room.
No, dude, that wasn't what it was. You didn't know what they were playing off of?
No.
They were doing the Chicago Bulls.
Oh, from the Last Dance.
Yes.
Okay.
With the goggles and the shirt and the hat, and when he was laying on the floor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dude. They were doing some playoff of the Chicago Bulls stuff.
So they were singing "We Are the Champ."
Was pretty freaking cool.
They were singing "We Are." What was up with them goggles that were like
not all the way?
That didn't have any lenses.
They bought some shitty ass goggles.
So they're singing "We Are the Champions" by Queen, and Hangman walks by. Poor Hangman, man. I feel sorry.
Hashtag poor Hangman.
I want to give Hangman a hug. He stops short of the door and turns around, and then poor Hangman walks into the Dark Order, doing a "fuck Hangman" chant. Poor Hangman. Before we get to the Dark Order, they showed the Bucks doing the scrum post Full Gear. Eddie Kingston, man. I don't know if this was aired anywhere or this was.
I think it was exclusively for BTE.
Fucking tremendous.
Yeah, it was great.
This was no comedy. This was a true from the heart promo from Eddie Kingston. He even said he broke his phone. Man.
Which I think his phone was just already broke, but it made for a good story.
True, but hell of a fucking promo by Eddie Kingston there. He says he'll be back. He ain't done. John Silver, poor John Silver, sad that he lost to Orange Cassidy. Evil Uno consoling him.
This is too funny, man. This might have been my favorite. This might have been either this or Hangman joining in on the "fuck Hangman" chant. One of those was my favorite part. And I'm really not sure which one, but they both involved the Black Order, so the Dark Order.
The Dark Order tries to cheer up Silver, and Anna Jay asks, "How about a hug?" And Silver's like,
"Well, no, he asked for a hug."
Oh yeah, and
Anna Jay was gonna give him one, and he freaking took it for 10 instead, like a doofus.
Silver stiff arms Anna Jay to get the hug from 10. That's because Silver
grabbed his ass.
Oh man, there was some hanky panky going on there. I think Silver's kayfabe and being a gay guy, anyways. They're on the doing a little. So he gives Anna Jay the stiff arm. Who the hell gives Anna Jay the stiff arm? But That was
No comment.
That was a good stiff arm. Well,
No
hey-oh,
comment.
hey-oh. Stiff arm, not stiffy arm. So they go, okay, we know how to cheer you up, Silver. Let's do a fuck Hangman chant. So they're going, fuck Hangman, fuck Hangman. And this was when Hangman had just turned around from the Bucks championship celebration. He walks into the room. The Dark Order is quiet, well, except for 5, that dipshit. But Hangman joins in, but only for a little bit and then walks off because Hangman is sad.
But funny tidbit. Did you watch any of the Full Gear media scrums from Saturday night?
No.
If you go back and you watch Serena Deeb's media scrum in like the final 3 to 5 minutes of her media scrum, you can clearly make out the fuck Hangman chant in the background, so you know exactly the time that they were filming that BTE skit. So she's doing the media scrum, and you hear in the background, fuck Hangman, fuck Hangman, fuck Hangman, and I'm like, yeah, they're filming BTE right now.
Oh my God. That is hilarious. SmackDown live from the Thunderdome. We start off with the Women's Championship, Sasha Banks and Bayley. And would you look at that, Matt? Sasha retained a title.
Thank God. I swear to you, if Bayley would have won that title back on Friday, I might have lost my damn mind. I'd have lost my damn mind, man.
This would have been Matt after the match. So yeah, for the first time in her career, she gets to hear, and still your SmackDown Women's Champion, Sasha Banks. Good match, great match between those two. I mean, no surprise, we're gonna get a good match out of those girls. After the match, though, Carmella shows up with a super kick, laying out Banks. Jey Uso and Kevin Owens get into it a little bit in catering. Kevin making fun, saying, getting coffee, isn't that Heyman's job? And Jey didn't like that so much, did he?
Jay was being a little bitch on Friday.
And then Jey was interviewed by Kayla when Heyman shows up and asks if Roman authorized this interview. And, well, no, he didn't. Ray worried about his daughter Aaliyah, hadn't heard from her, but it's time for a match. And so Dominic had to run to get his gear, and that's when he got attacked by King Corbin, who he was facing in a Survivor Series qualifier. Before we got to that qualifier match, we have that meeting between Jey and Roman and Paul, and well, it didn't go well for anybody that's not named Roman, did it?
Roman's just making everybody his bitch.
We know who the head of the table is. I love Roman Reigns. This Roman Reigns is so fucking good. I love it. We get to the Survivor Series qualifying match. King Corbin, Rey Mysterio. King Corbin gets the win there. I think, Seth Rollins was there as a distraction on the ramp almost the entire match. Murphy and Aaliyah show up too. So all that chaos led to King Corbin winning the match and joining the team. Team Raw better win that match, by the way, Matt.
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on who the fifth SmackDown, who they fill out the SmackDown side with. But as of right now, yes, I would definitely want Team Raw to win that one. But at the same token, you feel like Team Raw's. Yeah, no, I don't think I feel like Lana's going to be the sole survivor for the women. Like,
I
feel like that's what they're leading to. So maybe the men's SmackDown team has to win.
Either the sole survivor or she's going to get like 2 big eliminations. But I smell sole survivor on this.
Yeah, so yeah, maybe stay. Like I feel like the Raw men's team should win, but
it's fucking stacked compared to SmackDown.
Well, the way they're making Jey Uso beat the entire planet except for Roman Reigns, I mean, like I could see them pushing him to the moon again by having him pin like Strowman or Lee or something, and just would really annoy me because freaking Keith Lee needs a damn big win right now.
And he'd be the one to probably take that pin.
It would be really nice for Keith Lee to win that match for Raw, because they have done that poor man no favor since he beat Randy Orton at that pay-per-view.
You know what I just realized? I did not finish SmackDown, nor did I finish Raw. I started them, but not finished. I'm like, I don't remember this next match between Zelina Vega, Ruby Riott, and Natalya to qualify for Survivor Series.
Because I didn't see it.
Yep. I did not finish Raw or SmackDown this week. Oops.
Natty fucked herself in this match.
I like Ruby's new look too.
Well, Natty had the sharpshooter on Vega, and Ruby did like a crossface on Vega, and Natty was dumb enough to let go of the sharpshooter. And when she let go, Ruby made Zelina tap out, so Ruby won. I can't make this shit up, pal.
Yeah. So yeah, I completely have no recollection of that because I never saw it.
You didn't miss much. Like, honestly, if you saw Sasha and Bailey, I mean, that's really the only thing from SmackDown I felt you'd had to like go out of your way to see.
Yeah, because I did see Corbin and Ray. So
speaking of things you didn't need to go out of your way to say, I am happy to see Ray back in the ring though. All things considered, like,
yeah. Luckily
his injury was not as bad as it could have been. But maybe if it was as bad as it could have been, maybe we could have dropped this terrible storyline with his daughter, Buddy, and Seth. So, I mean, I guess, trying to weigh the positives and the negatives.
Survivor Series qualifying match, Seth Rollins and Otis. Why the hell they broke up Heavy Machinery beyond me. They dropped Tucker in 45 minutes. And, well, 45 seconds. And Otis, he lasted 5 minutes at least. But Seth Rollins gets the win.
They look, to be fair, they protected him
with Murphy
because of Murphy's interference. So I mean, it's not like Otis lost clean, but honestly, like, Rollins didn't need to be on this team. So like, they could have thrown Otis on the Survivor Series team.
So
throw the poor fucking man a bone, for crying out loud.
I'm confused on what Murphy's doing with Rollins at this point.
Well, he said that Rollins came in the back afterwards. He's like, please tell me I saw what I thought I saw. And Murphy did the whole Messiah disciple thing, and Rollins walked away all happy, and Aaliyah ran up to Buddy going, what are you doing? Wah, wah, wah. And he's like, trust
How'd that go
me.
again? What
are you doing? Wah, wah, wah. And he's like, just trust me. It's for the greater good.
It's for the greater good.
I'm assuming it means Murphy is setting up Rollins to turn on him. But at the same token, like, oh my God, can we just end the storyline already?
Well, we all thought Aaliyah was gonna go dark and join Rollins.
Yeah, that doesn't seem to be the direction.
Oh boy, Lars Sullivan sit-down interview with Michael Cole this time. How was that, Matt? Was it weird?
It was everything you thought it would be.
KO Jey Uso. Jey Uso getting the win. No surprise there. Jay high fives Heyman. Goes up to the ramp. Roman standing there. And puts his arm around Jay to end the show. I figured Roman would be like, turn around and beat up KO, but that didn't happen. But that's the end of SmackDown, the A show, if you didn't know.
Oh, you didn't know?
So we have one superstar left to fill each spot at the time. We'll fill that last spot of Raw out here on Monday. We kick things off on Raw with Miz TV, and Orton interrupted in a hurry. Who the hell were the guests even supposed to be? Was it supposed to be the New Day?
I don't even remember.
Yeah, me either. But New Day came out, and then Drew came out, and we had a little Donnybrook as there was a 6-man tag with those guys already announced later on in the evening. Elias, Jeff Hardy, Matt Riddle, triple threat for the last second chance for the last chance, the last spot on Survivor Series. Probably to nobody's surprise, Riddle won that, considering Hardy and Elias are still feuding somewhat. And they're pushing Riddle, so.
Bro.
Mustafa Ali and I'm just going to call her Mia Yim because I don't remember her name on Retribution.
It's like fucking Reckoning or something stupid like that.
They
I don't remember it either.
Yeah, they cut a decent promo. This part cracked me up. Drew Gulak showing up, trying to be a part of the Hurt Business without a pocket square and a clip-on tie. I hope that he continues to try to join every week and gets beat down.
Dude, the guy is so underutilized.
Gulak got beat down by the Hurt Business. That allowed R-Truth to sneak in and become your 43-time 24/7 champion.
You know the biggest issue I had with this segment is that freaking Drew Gulak was beaten down by 4 wrestlers, and they all walked away instead of wishing to pin him for the championship.
Well, nobody cares about the 24/7 champion.
Look, maybe nobody does, but at the same token, you're telling the audience that they shouldn't care about it either. You know, by the way, you have, you know, wrestlers that should very well just want to hop on down and get that title and walk away instead. Because look, Benjamin held that title,
you
know, a few times already. So why didn't Benjamin hop on down and get the title? Why didn't MVP, you know, jump down and get the title? So if the Hurt Business beat the New Day on Raw next week, they'd all have championships.
Yep.
You know, just like there's no logic to the things that they do. And while the segment was funny, it would just be nice for shit to make sense.
Come on, Matt. Logic in WWE, you're asking too much.
I know.
I am not going to be satisfied until R-Truth gets 247 reigns with the 24/7 title, by the way.
I think they should just give him 50 and retire it.
He's about 20% there at 43.
44.
So he's got a way to go.
44.
Later
in the show, you probably didn't see it.
Oh yeah. Like I said, I didn't watch the rest of Raw.
Yeah, you missed like 8 more title changes.
I don't know what normally I get everything in. I don't know what happened there.
It's been a rough couple of days for you, but it's all right.
Started them and then something came up or something came on, and so then I went to switch to that and just forgot to go back to it. I've been sick since Friday, but that means I'd have more time.
Exactly.
That means I'd have more time to watch, though.
But sometimes when you're sick, you get loopy and you just forget shit.
Yeah.
And that's part of being sick, man.
The Let's Book Lana Better tour did not commence as she tapped to Shayna Baszler after 2 minutes. Nia Jax was going to put her through a table again, but Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose saved her. After the commercial break, Lana came up to him to thank them, but they're like, we weren't helping your ass. So poor Lana. We got sad Lana and we got sad Hangman. We got sad people on our shows, Matt.
Hashtag poor Lana.
I liked the AJ Styles team meeting for Survivor Series. I thought it was kind of funny. I think overall, though, I mean, creative needs to actually do something. Almost every Survivor Series team, men and women, the only storyline going into it is they don't like each other. It's like, that's the best you got? Okay. It's like creative takes a lot of weeks off, but it seems like they take a lot of weeks off, even more when it comes to Survivor Series time.
It was a stupid idea from bad creative.
So this led to a tag match between Sheamus and Strowman against Lee and Riddle, with AJ as the special guest referee. Sheamus brogue kicked Strowman. That led to Riddle rolling up Sheamus, and they got and Lee and Riddle, the only two guys that get along on the team, got the win. Alexa Bliss picking off petals off of the roses. Nikki Cross coming up to her and says, Bliss says, "It's been a while since I've seen you." Nikki's like, "I saw you last week." As we further go down the split between Cross and Bliss. Bliss has been doing a tremendous job since being with him. United States Championship, Bobby Lashley against Titus O'Neil. That lasted about a minute. The best part of this was the before the start of the match, MVP goes, "The match is going to happen above the ring."
This was so fucking sloppy, dude.
Yeah, and it was only a minute. There's a lot of slop in just a minute.
Like the fact that Lashley couldn't even lock the fucking hold on Titus O'Neil says to me, like, dude, if you can't actually lock the damn hold on, what the fuck you doing the hold to begin with?
And Titus
because it's not like Titus is that big of a dude. Like Titus is a big guy, but he's not bigger than Lashley. Like Lashley should have easily been able to put that hold on. And the fact that he couldn't says to me, like, you just shouldn't be doing the damn hold.
And Titus was tapping before the hold was even in.
Yeah, it was bad, dude.
More friendship between Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. We all know where that's going to lead later on down the line.
Friendship again.
Asuka took on Nia Jax. Ended in DQ with Baszler attacking Asuka. And
it's not like most botches.
Was there a botch in that match? This is where I
the word on the street is she injured Mandy Rose. So
I switched it after Sheamus and Drew were talking. Oh, Lana went through a table. I was worried. That Lana was not going through a table this week.
No, you weren't.
So we had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-way match for the 24/7 title. Congrats, Eric and Tucker. You have now graduated into the 24/7 division.
Must be very proud of yourself.
R-Truth retained his championship. Mustafa Ali took on Ricochet. Sounds like it was a good match.
Yeah, it's probably the best thing on the show.
It's not going to be a surprise that these two put on a good match. Hey, a win for Retribution.
Hot damn.
Adam Pearce informing Randy Orton that he has to defend the WWE Championship against Drew McIntyre. Drew gets a little physical with Pearce. We all know where this is going.
Do we?
Well, we're not going to get it. Yes, we all know where this is going. Orton and McIntyre next week. It's going to be interrupted by The Fiend. Then they're going to have a TLC match in December. Book it.
I wouldn't be surprised if Miz cashes in the Money in the Bank briefcase on Monday, wins it so he can get squashed by Roman Reigns in 2 minutes at Survivor Series.
Save Orton.
Save Orton and Drew. Would not put it past them.
We put Orton in there to save Drew. We're going to put Miz in there to save Orton.
Yep. It would not shock me.
So next week on Raw, Orton and Drew for the title. Also for the title, New Day and Hurt Business. I expect a title change.
I do not. I think the New Day and the Street Profits is one of the actual matches on Survivor Series
yeah,
that
you're
I'm
right.
actually looking forward to.
Yeah, you're right.
So if they actually take that away from me, I'm going to be furious.
You're right. I forget about Survivor Series for a minute.
Yeah, if they take that match away from me, I'm going to be fucking pissed.
And your main event, 6-man tag with Drew, New Day, Orton, Miz, and Morrison. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Looks like it was a good main event from what I'm seeing.
It was fine.
And nothing much else to end the show, right?
No.
Impact Wrestling. I almost forgot to talk about Impact there for a minute. Tucked it away. As we make our way towards the Knockouts Tag Team Championships, that'll be decided at Hard to Kill in January. We get a little teaser. Havoc and Nevaeh taking on Tenille Dashwood and Madison Rayne. And it didn't go well for Tenille and Madison, who I expect to probably win those knockout titles. Tag titles, Havoc and Nevaeh get the win. Gia interviewing the Good Brothers. And then they air a commercial. Talking Shop-A-Mania 2 on Friday, Matt.
10 p.m.
Get ready. Get ready for the greatest experience of your life.
I don't know about all that.
Tommy Dreamer doing lie detector tests to figure out who done it. And we get ourselves an X Division Championship match between Rohit Raju and TJP. And, of course, Rohit doing a little chicanery to retain the title. But, hey, he walks out with the title. Hernandez comes out of the interrogation, runs into Falaba. And they talk about the money. And then Tasha Steelz and Kiera Hogan show up and flirt with Falaba and pickpocket him. Oh, Ba lost the money. Lost the money to.
Why the fuck you carried it around anyway? Like, honestly, you steal the freaking roll of money, don't carry it around. Go put it in your bank account or go spend it or something. Like, why the fuck you still carrying that damn wad of money around like a month later?
It doesn't make for a good wrestling story, Matt.
Yeah, I just thought, heaven forbid, I want my shit to make sense.
We learned that even though they're in a treehouse, the Rascals are getting evicted. They have a week to pay the rent. Or if they don't pay it, they have to leave Impact. When word came out from Mike Johnson at PW Insider, it's legit. The Rascals are leaving Impact. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I don't really know where they're gonna go. I really don't.
Yeah, Trey's a star, but I mean, he's not going to be a major star in a company just yet.
I just feel like he's there. He's like that group is going to get lost anywhere they go, except for maybe if they go to Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Like beyond that, like I just don't see where they could go right now. There's no room for them in AEW. Like if they go to NXT, like I just don't see what they're going to do with them. And, I feel like Impact's the best place for those guys right now.
Yep. Mike Johnson says all signs are that this is, barring a last second change, it's legitimate that they're leaving. So,
I mean, things can happen, dude. Contract and you can get shit worked out and you can keep them. Like, I don't know where they put them right now.
Yeah.
To me, like I said, besides ROH, like I don't see anywhere where they fit at the moment.
Yeah, I can see Trey going to NXT or AEW maybe. Not gonna be
I mean, and the thing is, look,
he's not gonna be a major. He's not gonna be as big of a player as he was in Impact. Yeah,
and like let's just say let's say for the sake of argument, AEW signs Trey. Dude's gonna be on AEW Dark. all the damn time. Like what they don't have enough time on TV for all the men they have now. Like they add somebody in. No offense to Trey Miguel, he doesn't have a whole lot of name value.
Oh.
At the moment, like I feel like he would just be a guy we'd see on Dark every week. Like I don't know. I really feel like the Rascals' best place would be to stay put in Impact.
AC Romero took on Chris Sabin. Sabin giving up a couple of pounds there to AC.
Couple.
Apparently Triple XL turned heel. I missed it, but they attack Sabin after the match. But we learned something pretty cool later on in the show. Stay tuned. Sami Callihan approaches Chris Bay, has an idea for him. Father James Mitchell in the lie detector room. This was pretty funny. Tommy Dreamer says the deception is off the charts. Mitchell says deception runs through his veins, but he didn't do it. But he thinks he knows who did. Eddie Edwards took on Chris Bay. Good match here. Eddie Edwards gets win after the match. Bay grabs a chair. Lights go out. It's Sami Callihan with a bat. Bay and Callihan attacking Edwards. Rich Swann making the save. And then Ken Shamrock makes it 3-on-2. And they work over Swann and Edwards. Then the Rascals come in to make the save. Tennille Dashwood already throwing Madison Rayne aside after they lost and approaches Jordan Grace. And Dashwood reluctantly asks Jordan to be her partner. Grace says she'll give her a chance to earn her trust at Turning Point on Saturday. Rich Swann thanked the Rascals for doing everything they did, and suggested that they go out with a bang if the Rascals are truly leaving Impact Wrestling. And so they have suggested a tag match. Rich Swann tagging with Trey Miguel to take on the other two members, Dez and Wentz of the Rascals. Next week, they aired Turning Point from 2009 when Matt's boy Magnus and Brutus retained the tag titles against Beer Money with some interference from old Kevin Nash.
Ugh.
Gia interviews Deonna Purrazzo and Kimber Lee, and it's pretty cool. That was pretty cool when Lee disappeared and then Su Yung puts her up against the glass, kind of a little horror movie style. I thought that was kind of cool. Dreamer continuing his investigation. We didn't really get too far there. Reno Scum took on Falabon Kriazi, Steve. Chris Sabin at a bar saying he needs someone to have his back with Alex Shelley on the shelf. Lo and behold, that somebody he's talking to is James Storm, who agrees to it, and they'll team on Saturday at Turning Point. Make Sabin drink the beers. How can you drink this stuff? How many have you had? About 10. Sorry about your damn luck. Man, I'm pretty excited to see Sabin and Storm team together.
Should be interesting. Like, I don't know if they're leading somewhere with this or not, but I'm always happy when I see James Storm on my TV. So,
and then main event time: Machine Gun Carl Anderson, Josh Alexander. Once again, a match involving any team that was in the tag team title race over the past 2 months. I lost count how many of these end in DQ, and this one ended in DQ. I don't know, Matt.
I know nothing.
Turning point, though, on Saturday on Impact Plus, the North will take on the Good Brothers for the tag team titles. I wonder if we'll get a change there or not until Hard to Kill. Could be some chicanery. I don't know, Matt.
I like to think something interesting will happen at the show on Saturday. You gotta give people reasons to want to tune in.
I fully expect Rich Swann to retain against Sami Callihan.
I would certainly hope so.
And I fully expect Su Yung to retain against Deonna Purrazzo. So,
I would not be shocked to see that swap.
So we could get the Good Brothers getting the titles. Brian Myers is taking on Swoggle, Moose and Willie Mack. Tennille Dashwood, Jordan Grace take on Rosemary and Taya Valkyrie, and Daivari takes on Eddie Edwards. You know, they've built up this this show on Impact Plus better than WWE's build some pay-per-views, man. And this has been like 2 weeks of build. And they still do a better job.
Sad but true, my friend. Sad but true.
They built some of these matches pretty good. So oh, here we go, Matt. What you've been waiting to talk about. It was a little late, little technical difficulty. It showed up about 45 minutes late, but the show did begin. As on the AEW Games channel on YouTube, we have Kenny Omega doing his best Steve Jobs imitation.
He wasn't the only one.
Wasn't the only one. To unveil a brand new game coming to console. Yes, console. Not only that, it's developed by Ukes, who y'all, if you ever played any of the old WWE games of the PlayStation or Xbox era, you know, Ukes did a good job until 2K fucked it up. Not only that, the director of WWF No Mercy 20 years ago on Nintendo 64, the director, Hideyuki Irishita, is going to be involved in the game. Not only that, we got a little gameplay, very early gameplay. Not only that, the beautiful Aubrey Edwards interrupts, also cosplaying as Steve Jobs, to let us know that we've got ourselves a General Manager mobile game coming our way. No ETA for that either. And then Dr. Britt Baker interrupts, and also dressed as Steve Jobs, to announce that there is some AEW Games merch you can buy from Shop AEW. And then Cody comes out to interrupt to let us know that there is a game that's coming out very, very soon called AEW Casino Double or Nothing. And it's expected to be launching this winter. So it'll feature slots, blackjack, poker, roulette, and all the AEW stuff as well. That'll be coming down in the winter. And then the other two, the Elite GM is expected to launch later in 2021. And we did not get any sort of estimate on the console game. But tremendous news. Not one, not two, but 3 games coming our way. One being a console game. We were worried maybe the announcement would be just mobile, but this is a little too big for just mobile. So we're glad that they came through. Matt, what were your thoughts on tonight's presentation?
I loved it. I was definitely annoyed that it didn't start on time. I'll tell you that much. But the fact that we finally got the thing, we got 2 mobile games, we've got the console game. You know, we got to see the character models of Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho, and Hikaru Shida. And just, damn, man. I'm excited. Like I said earlier on the show, I feel like the graphics that they were presenting, it wasn't straight simulation like WWE 2K, and it wasn't arcade like WWE All Stars. It was like right in the middle. And I feel like some people feel like they don't. I feel like some people don't fucking remember this, but that's what No Mercy was back in the day.
Yeah.
It wasn't simulation. It wasn't arcade. It was right there in the middle. So like the fact that the project manager behind No Mercy, Def Jam Vendetta, and Def Jam Fight for New York is back doing a wrestling game in 2020. It's fucking awesome, man. Like, it's the best. Okay. I'm so excited. And like the game's been in development for a long time. Brian Williams of Ukes put out a few tweets tonight regarding the game. And let me read some of these for y'all. I've been working toward this day since February of 2019. So now you know how long the game's been being worked on.
Yeah.
Hopefully now all of my past tweets can be put into the proper context. Big shout out to the homie at Trenty Locks, Trent Beretta. This wouldn't have happened without him. Trent put me in contact with AEW, which brought us to today. And then he said, 5 months before I reached out to AEW, I had an interview with the WWE for a games producer role in Stanford. This was in September of 2018. They interviewed me 3 times and then ghosted me. In February 2019, I emailed AEW, and here we are today. Things happen for a reason. He said, we're going to do our best to deliver a wrestling game that pro wrestling fans deserve. Between what we're doing and what at Virtual Basement is doing, the pro wrestling gaming fan base is going to be well served. Support developers making pro wrestling games. There's enough for all of us. So, dude, I'm super fucking pumped.
Yeah, I can't wait to get my hands on the casino game. That'll be coming out. See what they do with that. Console and the GM games look
The
like.
GM game looks fun. But I'm not super over the moon for the casino game. But I'll download it and give it a shot. Like,
Yeah.
Why the hell not? Yeah. I'm just I'm super excited. So
they have announced Major League Wrestling has announced that TJP will be heading to MLW for their restart on November 18th as they resume on beIN Sports. WWE has announced The Undertaker is going to bid a final farewell at Survivor Series. Don't know what that's going to be, if it's a match or just an appearance. I don't know.
I'm imagining it's just an appearance.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if it was anything more, if it was a match, I feel like it would be respectful to the Undertaker to be announced already.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming it's just going to be an appearance, but yeah, who knows? We'll see.
It had been rumored that WWE has been reaching out to a lot of the talents that have appeared on AEW Dark, and WWE PW Insider has confirmed that 2 of them, Elena Black and Lacey Ryan, have completed tryouts for the company. Speaking of Dark, Leva Bates getting her first win. How soon before Peter Avalon gets his? Scorpio Sky with an update. Thanking. He says, I want to thank those that reached out and concerned, let you know I'm okay. Once I found out I come in contact with someone who might have COVID, I immediately notified AEW medical staff, got tested. It was negative. At that point, I went out and got myself tested elsewhere to be sure, and it was negative again. The person I was in contact with was also tested, and the results were negative. So the important thing is I'm in good health and eager to get back to work. Friday Night SmackDown numbers continue to go up for that show because, well, it's the A show, so it's no surprise. 2.209 million for SmackDown, an increase of nearly 70,000, 60,000 viewers, actually, up from 2.13 million. Monday Night Raw, on the other hand, staying stagnant, still below 1.7 million, a slight increase to 1.69 this week, up from 1.656. The first 3 matches are set for New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestle Kingdom 15, which takes place on January 4th and 5th. Tetsuya Naito will defend the IWGP Heavyweight Championship and IWGP Intercontinental Championship against Kota Ibushi on the 4th. You expect a change there, Matt?
I don't know, man. I don't know what the hell they're doing.
Kazuchika Okada and Will Ospreay will also clash. And it's also been announced that at night 2, okay, so night 1 has got, no wonder you don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's all really confusing.
Night 1 has Naito and Ibushi 1-on-1 for both titles. Night 2 has Naito, Ibushi, never mind. Okay. Jay White takes on the winner of night 1 on night 2. That's what's going on.
I just wish they'd fucking split up the damn world and intercontinental titles already over there.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like those two titles have been on the same guy for at least like 2 years now. And I don't mean by the same guy holding them. I mean, like, those 2 titles have literally been passed around like a package deal for like the past 2 years. And it's getting kind of annoying at this rate. Fucking drop one title and keep the other.
Yeah, I figured at Wrestle Kingdom, Naito would, especially with a 2-day event, would do double duty. You know, one title on one day and one title on the next. But does not seem to be the case. Eddie Kingston's second Grindhouse event is set for this Saturday. It's going to air on WWNlive.com if you are so interested.
Yeah.
Although Kylie Ray has announced that she's retired from pro wrestling, she still remains under contract to Impact Wrestling. PW Insider has confirmed.
I guess that's to keep her from going somewhere else.
Unless there's a last second change, that would be with the NBA, which is highly unlikely. WWE will be heading out of Orlando's Amway Center. The Thunderdome will exit. Mike Johnson of PW Insider says that they are told the company's production team currently needs to clear out the venue no later than December 5th so the Magic can take back over. Still no plans as to where the Thunderdome will go from there. Vince better come up with something quick. And WWE with 7 new trademarks in. Candy Floss, August Gray. August Gray is the one of the guy that stood up to Timothy Thatcher on NXT. Bash at the Beach, Battle Bowl, Bunkhouse Stampede, The Match Beyond, and Slamboree. Oh, look, WWE jumped on those right away after the Cody Rhodes thing, huh? Didn't take them long.
Well, dude, it was a trade-off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so I don't have a problem with that at all.
Also on the restart for MLW on November 18th, that'll be the title match. Jacob Fatu, the champion, taking on Davey Boy Smith Jr. Debuting on AEW Dark this week was son of WWE Hall of Famer Devon Dudley. And they took on Chaos Project, it looks like. Don't know. Do they have a team name or anything? Oh, they're called TNT. Terrell and Terrence Hughes. So that's pretty cool. God, we're getting old, Matt. When kids of Devon Dudley are wrestling on TV now.
I think it's pretty cool.
It is. It is. Savio Vega, actually one of Undertaker's closest friends. I did not know that. But Savio Vega is going to be flown in for the final farewell of the Undertaker at Survivor Series. It looks like he's going to appear on camera, and well, maybe on camera. I don't know, but IWA Puerto Rico announced it. So, unfortunately, when Edge gets back, we will not hear the Rated R Superstar, as WWE has unfortunately let go of Tony Chimmel, who's been with the company since 1991. Wonder where, if he hasn't really full-time announced in a while. You think he'd land somewhere, Matt? Or
I have no idea. I think he's just done.
Cody Rhodes interviewed with Bleacher Report's Chris Mueller recently and stated that he only intends to wrestle for 5 more years and has political aspirations. He would love to run for the Senate in the great state of Georgia. So, politician. I did not expect Cody to be a politician, Matt.
Yeah.
Moving along, there's a lot of talk internally in the WWE that they are going to possibly revive Tribute to the Troops next month. They had broadcast it every year since 2003 with the exception of last year. So it sounds like it's possible that Tribute to the Troops will be back. It has been announced that the next NXT TakeOver event will happen on December 6th. And what is it, Matt?
I would assume that it is War Games.
Yes. Good thing.
But I don't think have they confirmed it?
No, not yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think it's been confirmed yet. But that would be my educated guess.
I was just putting it on T for Regal to show up on the show.
Understood, sir. Understood.
People have noticed that WWE has quietly turned one of their top stars babyface, and that was Braun Strowman.
Yeah, it could have fooled me from the way he's been acting. I totally could see him as a babyface. Eye roll. Just like the Fiend's supposed to be a babyface too. Like, I'm sorry, guys, I'm not seeing it.
WWE Network has added the Best of Eddie Guerrero, narrated by Matt Camp, and about 3 hours worth of matches and presentation, dating back to 95. Eddie Guerrero against Dean Malenko for the ECW Television Championship. 6 against Eddie Guerrero for the U.S. title, and WCW NWO sold out. Guerrero and Edge from SmackDown in 2002. Guerrero and Lesnar for the championship in 2004. No Way Out. Guerrero and Angle, classic WrestleMania 20 match. Oh, I wonder if they'll show him celebrating with Benoit. No. Which match went last? Was it
Benoit closed?
Benoit. Okay, so they definitely wouldn't show it yet.
So they would not share that, yeah.
They still wouldn't show it anyways, but
yeah, I think if it was the other way around, I think you might have had a chance of seeing it.
I mean, it's in there if you watch WrestleMania 20, but
yeah,
any kind of highlight things, I'm sure they cut that out. Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero for custody of Dominic back when he was a little kid in 2005.
I was there. That was SummerSlam in
you?
DC. That was Hogan HBK, brother.
You were in attendance.
I was.
Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio cage match on SmackDown from 2005, and Eddie Guerrero Batista for the title at No Mercy in 2005 round out the compilation. Deadline.com is our final headline of the night. Deadline.com is reporting that Dwayne The Rock Johnson is going to produce a reboot of The Scorpion King.
To which I respond, why?
He will likely not play the character but he will look to produce a revival of the character that he started playing in The Mummy Returns in 2001. I don't know. I'm not going to question The Rock, Matt.
I just don't care.
That's going to do it for this edition of Lost in the Midcard. Thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes, Spotify, and any of your favorite podcasting apps. All you got to do is search for Lost in the Midcard. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way, typically every Wednesday. We're also on the YouTube for the video version of the podcast. Please go give us a subscribe there. Hit the bell icon. That way you know the new video comes up your way, typically a couple hours after the podcast version is released. Links to all that are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard, as well as the Twitter at LITMC Podcast. Matt is on the Twitter at Raw of Showtime. I'm on the Twitter at JB Huskers. And before we ride off into the sunset, Matt, what are your final thoughts?
Looking forward to AEW Games, brother.
That
Be
I
fun.
am too. Full Gear was tremendous, and it's going to be very exciting to see where they go as they turn the page on Wednesday. See where they go and where they head. It's what seems to be a long road to Revolution because it's end of February, feels like an eternity away. But I think tomorrow is going to be exciting. The MJF induction, that'll be fun. As always, AEW is entertaining the fuck out of us. And excited for that. I like to do a little casino dabbling myself. Not so much on the mobile, but excited to see what that looks like, and excited to see what the GM game and obviously the console game look like once they come out, which is probably not soon enough. But let's get it right, and we're all excited for that. For Matt Black, this is Jeremy Bennett. Thank you for tuning in to Lost in the Midcard. We'll be back at you next week.